take a perk and toke it and see.
6 novels, 5 novellas, all by the same author.
He's 5'9". This is making me feel physically sick.
I had a little bit of a breakdown.
How can we ever go back?
Hang on a second, I'm confused.
That was quite disastrous.
I like this book. Not gonna lie, I was so confused about how to read this series, so...
Then you pick up Believe Me, which is a novella. And that's how I recommend you read it.
Everyone and their mother is talking about this Shatter Me series. Well, they were several months ago. Right now, I am literally... My neighbor is obsessed with making really loud ruckus like right outside my window. The other morning I woke up to a power drill. So there's only one thing to do. It's to fight fire with fire. I'm so petty. I'm so petty. I can't believe my plan worked. Great. I'm being watched out of by the window. Basically, in that house next door, if you tilt the shutters a certain way, it like looks directly into my room. Oh, I love being watched by old men. Anyways, I'm just gonna read the entire Shatter Me series, hopefully in the next few days. I'm gonna see how much I can get done in 24 hours and, you know, go from there. I am going to be listening to the audiobook while I then hang out my washing. Voiceover Me is here. So the Shatter Me series starts with the first book called, you guessed it, Shatter Me. The official book description says it's about this. Sorry, I just need to get into character. A fragile teenage girl is held captive, locked in a cell by the re-establishment, a harsh dictatorship in charge of the crumbling world. But Juliet is no ordinary teenager. One touch from her can kill. The re-establishment wants to use her as a weapon, but Juliet has other plans. After a lifetime of freedom, she has finally discovered her strength to fight back and to find a future with the one person she thought she lost forever. The writing style is just too much for me. 2 shattered windows filling my mouth with glass. I catch the rose petals as they fall from my cheeks. Like, please. There's just too much of that. Setting is crucial when talking about dystopians, so let's talk about it. Juliet, our main character, has been locked up for about a year. She's been starved of food, hygiene, and human interaction. The world is run by a corrupt government called the Re-establishment, who are actually responsible for Juliet's capture. Basically, the Re-establishment ruined the world, made it uninhabitable, and their grand vision is to make everyone speak a universal language and forget everything else. Juliet is introduced to a boy in her cell, which we will discuss in a little bit, but then gets moved to this place called Sector 45. It's this place in North America, and the only way to escape is by going through a nuclear field and an old nuclear site. Now, there's this tracker serum, so people can be tracked. Well, if they go through the nuclear site, the radiation neutralizes it. Now, a few characters who we will discuss later actually are miraculously immune to the radiation. And the last thing that we need to discuss in this section is Omega Point, which are an underground movement who want to take down the Re-establishment, and most of them have superpowers. Hearing this, that drove me insane. It's written by an author named Tahira Murphy. She published it when she was 23, all the way back in 2011. Side note, I was in year 1 and I was 6 years old. Anyways, because she was 23, a grown adult when it was published, I don't feel bad about any criticism I give it. Now, I will try to keep in mind that this book is young adult. I liked reading young adult books when I was 8, and that is over a decade ago. So I'm no longer in the target demographic, which is kind of sad. So I think the main thing that you need to know is that this book is written like a diary. There are certain words and phrases that are crossed out like you would do in a journal. Juliet also annoys me to no end. Like, I know that I should like her, but I just don't. I should have sympathy, but I don't. And other people actually agree with me that they find her insufferable. So, yeah. I remember when I was about 13 or 14, and me and my friends, we went sort of through this angsty poetry phase. And so we'd write all this, like, really deep poetry, or poetry we thought was deep at the time. And this is what this is. I feel like we've just met the guy that everyone likes. Because I remember seeing things and he has blonde hair. I was looking at fan art and someone in the comments was like, is this Juliet and Aaron? Or Warner, whatever they call him. And that kind of also motivated me to read this. Also the fact that I have nothing to do.
Alright guys, it's now time to talk about the characters that are prevalent in this story. Let's start with Juliet. If you touch her, you die. She killed a kid and she has a very woe is me vibe. Adam Kent, they're cellmates. He's known her since she was 8. They're in love. He has tattoos. And yes, I did use a picture of Callum. Okay, next we have Aaron Warner. He's kind of toxic. He wants to use her powers. He's mentally unwell. But, he's attractive, so... Why is no one talking about how in the first book she's 17 and Warner's 19? Is that bad? Okay, so now we have Kenji. He's a fan favorite. He's pretending to be a soldier, but he's actually a part of the whole Omega Point scheme. And I'm sorry, but every single time I hear Omega Point, I just can't stop thinking about that Omega movie. With the wolves. Yeah, I just can't get that in my mind. They should have picked a different name because honestly, all I can think about are wolves. These are the other characters in this story. Feel free to pause and read it yourself because I'm not going to. In this book, she keeps talking about some bird. This is the bird. See the brown thing? See the brown thing? That's the bird. That's the bird that she keeps talking about. This is the bird that she wants to see. We've talked about the setting and we've talked about the characters that are very important to the story. Now I think it's time that we discuss the actual plot, discuss what happens in the book. Okay, I've tried my hardest to summarize this as best as I possibly can. There's a corrupt government. Obviously, this is a dystopian novel. Juliet is in an asylum because her touch is deadly. Adam and Warner can both touch her without harm, which is an important note to make. Adam becomes her soulmate, but he's actually a soldier for Warner. Betrayal. Warner's dad is the bad guy in charge, so we have some father issues. Warner wants to use Juliet's killing power for harm. Wow, I would have never guessed that a corrupt government would try to use her powers for corrupt things. In captivity, she and Adam fall in love. Then they escape to Adam's 10-year-old brother's apartment. Kenji, a soldier who is actually a good guy, is like, nah, you gotta go. Warner tortured me, they know where you are, they're gonna get you. So he's like, don't worry guys, I've got a plan to get you out. So Juliet and Adam split up with Kenji and James, but Adam and Juliet are captured and then Warner shoots Adam. Warner then kisses Juliet, she shoots him, finds Adam, they escape again. Finally, Adam, Juliet, and James are recruited by and then join the rebellion, which is the wolf thing. And I think that is basically all you really need to know about the first book. How did I do? This book is not for me. Nothing really has happened. He grabs my small frame. We know that she's small. We don't have to keep hearing it again and again and again. I'm almost done though. I'm gonna keep listening to it on 3.5 speed. She collapsed on the ground and it was a whole big call an ambulance, call an ambulance. But not for me. What? He obviously does not hate her that much because if he did, he wouldn't have picked her up. He has guards. The guards could have taken care of her. With how much description and stuff that there is, I just feel like so much is being left out. Stop leaving important stuff out and filling it with non-important nonsense. You know what? I'm starting to like this guy that much in rupturing his spleen. This book is kind of funny. This is just ridiculous. I have to pay for the next part. I'm gonna have to go back to reading it like a common animal. I'm kidding. I'm delirious. A tiny breath. No, what is this routine and why are they falling on their knees? They're proposing to her. I can't with this name. Delulu. Really? I'm the bird and I'm flying away. Her life is so incredibly unbearable, so immensely multifaceted, too glamorous for the least legacy of her loins to understand. This part physically pained me. You're a very bad girl. Girls used to kick me and run away. Boys used to throw rocks at me. I still have scars. Somewhere. She's curled in a ball on the shower floor. The shower floor. The diseases. Everything is just too melodramatic. Another mention of the bird.
Figure that's my type. That's my type.
We don't want sepsis.
Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud.
And alas, we have finally reached the end.
The acceptance you seek. I can be your friend. I know everything about you, love. He Prince. I've wanted you for a very long time. I'm ready. I'm not going to let you go so easily.
Okay, let's discuss this book. I've got quite a lot to say. There was just too many words. Not much happened. I feel like this entire thing could be summarized in a page. I like the guy that everyone likes. I thought that he was interesting. Would I want to reread this? No. Would I want to buy this book? No. I will not be making any purchases. There was just too much dramatization of everything. At the start, I was like, okay, well, she's in isolation. Obviously, she's feeling like this because she's gone insane. But it's just at some point, it's just too much. Oh, what have we done to my hair? I don't... He's 5'9". He's 5'9", and I know technically that's not short, but this is a fictional story, and you don't even need to mention that explicit. You can just say that he's tall. The fact is, when you go from all the male characters being like 7 foot to now to 5'9", that doesn't work well. Also, why have I not heard anyone say this? Why have I not heard a single person say, actually, this dude is 5'9", by the way? Because that is very significant. There are a lot of tall girlies in this world, you know? Have you ever been around a 5'9" guy? They'll come up to here on you, right? They will. And then they'll be like, no, I am 5'9". You're just like 6'10". And it's like, dude, accept it. You are not the height that you say you are. And the fact that he said that he was 5'9", it makes me think that he's actually not. He's probably like 5'5". So just keep that in mind. He's 5'5". From personal experience of dealing with those kind of men. I actually made a note of it because I read it last night. This is the note that I made of it. Destroy Me is the second installment in the Shatter Me series. It isn't novella. It's the one that goes between the first and the second book, you know, that one there. I started reading it at 2 a.m. Got it completed, got it done. When I found out that it was in Warner's point of view, by the way, I'm only calling him Warner now because, or Aaron Warner. No, just Warner, because I don't really like the name Aaron. I was actually very excited to read this book. I was expecting that there wasn't going to be any dramatics, you know, because he was so like cold and callous. He was so dramatic. Not as dramatic as Juliet, but still very dramatic. So let's play a game. Let's screenshot the first paragraph and see how much dramatics there are. That was literally the first paragraph. So I knew I was in for a long ride, and I was kind of questioning my decision, but I just had to move forward, you know what I'm saying? The story opens with him, you know, he's just been shot. We can also see his very violent nature from the start when he says that he wants to put a bullet in Adam's spine. So I gather that he does not like Adam at all. Guys, I tried to like this book. I tried really hard, but every single time I'd see one of those cringy, dramatized, like angsty kind of things, I would be like, okay, I'm putting that to the back of my mind, right? I'd finally forget about it and bam, there'd be another one. I had no escape. No escape. And then there's this guy's name called Delulu. And every single time I see his name, I just get transported to TikTok when there are those tarot card readers and everyone in the comments is like, she's making me Delulu. Yes, feed in my Delulus. So that's kind of a problem on my part. I just thought I'd mention it to see if anyone else is having the same problem. This is what you need to know about this entire book. Everyone is scared of Warner. Warner is obsessed with Juliet. The two things that you need to know, like he's like really obsessed. Like he watched her count for 5 hours. I'm not making that up. I'm not exaggerating. It's a quote in the book. He watched her count for 5 hours. I also found the reason for this title. There's a line where he's like, this girl is destroying me, and there's quite a dramatic monologue, which I will act out for you. This girl is destroying me. A girl who spent the last year in an insane asylum. A girl who would try to shoot me dead for kissing her. A girl who ran off with another man just to get away from me. Of course, this is the girl I had to fall for. I close a hand over my mouth. I am losing my mind. Now, the story ends, and Juliet has escaped his clutches. So you know how like one was like, okay, let's capture her. Again. Not this again. Because I've got Pitbull on the go ready. So basically, Warner's kind of gone mad. He's kind of a little bit like, no, Juliet, where are you? Wherefore art thou, Romeo? I'm sorry. I actually have the entire works of Shakespeare.
A Midsummer's Night's Dream is my favourite Shakespeare play. I simply love it. You know, when I was like in year 9, I had to do a monologue and I did it on Titania, and so ever since then I've just had this really deep connection with Midsummer's Night's Dream, because I basically had to like act it out. Well, I acted out like one scene, but I have a very strong connection with it and I love it. That's beside the point. The verdict that I have from this is that it's better than the first one. I will say that. So we have Destroy Me, we have Shatter Me currently. It's raining. Do you want to come inside? Do you want to? Okay, I'll get you. I am going to need this. It's just so good. My plan was to save this. Just a heads up, this is literally a read with me. It is going to be a very, very long night. We need to be stoked up. I'm going to read this on my old phone because my dearly beloved iPad has been put through the trenches today. I have been non-stop editing for 5 hours from the moment I woke up to now. Now it's time to like actually read Unravel Me. Look at the Snapchat. That says 47. I don't even think I've got 47 people on there anymore. This is what Unravel Me is about. Juliet has escaped to Omega Point, the wolf place. It is a place for people like her, people with gifts, and it is also the headquarters of the rebel resistance. She's finally free from the re-establishment, free from their plan to use her as a weapon, and free to love Adam. But Juliet will never be free from her lethal touch. I don't even know why that's such a big deal. If she loves Adam so much, Adam can't even feel her touch. Like, she just doesn't need to touch anyone else. You know, me personally, I don't remember the last time I was hugged or like, or any of that stuff. And honestly, like, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Look how pretty this is. I really like the covers. You know, I was thinking about this. I might just simply get the series simply for the covers. If, depending on how I'm feeling about this, you know, if this video does well, I'll buy the series to pay it homage. Alright guys, we've started off strong. The world might be sunny side up today. The big ball of yellow might be spilling into the clouds, runny and yolky and blurring into the bluest blue. What? I've never... Can you see my feet? Not for free, not for free. Actually, there was a stage in my life where I was considering doing... Never mind, I'm not saying that. I made so many promises when I arrived here. Now I'm not so sure. That sounds like literally every single person in my life, always making promises to me and never pulling through. Warner was supposed to be dead. He's come to fight for me. How romantic. I can't sleep, and I think about you all the time, and I can't. That's Adam, basically saying he's obsessed with Juliet. Now the thing is, I actually don't want anyone to ever be obsessed with me, because on social media, someone will talk about their stalker or their obsessive ex, and everyone in the comments is like, "Oh, this is what I want. My toxic trait is that I want this." Do you realize that the people who become obsessed with you are the people you don't want to be obsessed with you? Like, everyone thinks that their stalker or their obsessor is gonna be some attractive male, and he's not. He's probably gonna be some weirdo who's gonna scare you. Someone who you're going to see in the street and you walk the other way because you're scared to be around him. That's who's probably going to be obsessed with you if you ever get that happen. So, sorry, that's just a little rant. It just annoys me because people are so, they're just so ignorant. And especially when people are talking about their own experiences and how scared they are. And everyone in the comments is like, "Ooh, goals." No, it's not. The bird is back. So she's wearing a purple jumpsuit. And I've seen a lot of discourse about this online. And I'm going to say something controversial. Why can't I say that word? Controversial. I don't even think it's that bad. I used to have these Monster High dolls, and there was one called Claudine Wolf, and she had a purple jumpsuit. I had that doll, and honestly, like, that was a fashionable outfit. Like, I don't even mind this. Out of everything to complain about, you're complaining about an outfit? Right after we heard that description of the sun as an egg, no. Okay, it's official. I like Kenji. We'll talk soon, and everything is going to be fine. Something's telling me that's not gonna happen. I still like Kenji, but unfortunately, he has used the P word.
Do we know what that means? It means I think you're lazy and useless and don't do anything. She just split the ground like an earthquake. And I think she killed Castle. Really quick introduction. Castle is the leader of Omega. He's got telekinesis powers and he's always smiling softly. I don't know, is he dead? She didn't kill him. I wouldn't want to be around this girl. I'm sorry, but I think self-preservation would kick in. So, actually Adam isn't immune because he's got to work against her. And now Adam has just latched onto her. But, you know, she's like, let go of me. And he's like, no. Is she gonna just accidentally kill him? I cannot be with him. I will not be with him. She's being selfless. I like this. OMG, that's me. I'm in like a thief in the night. 16 missed calls. Sorry I was busy, but I miss y'all. I'm not reading all that. Who's back? I'm glad I actually read the novella because I was wondering if whether or not I should just read the actual novels and skip the novellas, but no. I'm very glad that I read the novellas. Oh, okay, I know that he's like a terrible, terrible person. I know, but he's just seen a dog and instead of kicking the dog or hurting the dog, he's being nice to the dog. Like, that's, you know, that's good. That's a good sign. Redemption arc. Angel numbers. It struck me in the heart. My heart is bleeding with sadness. Okay, so this is what's happened. Warner's dad is like, hey guys, let's meet up. Really quick introduction to Anderson. He's a lot of people's dads and he's also like the really important guy, like the commander, and he's also bad. And then they're like, okay, the Omega clan, the wolves, they're like, let's attack. Juliet, you're in charge. Okay, so Juliet enters the house, and then the ugly house, might I add, and then Warner's dad just like attacks her. He just strangles her. He's like, one more thing. Oh, I'm pretty sure Ignite Me is the name of a book. Okay, so the dad is like to Warner, kill her, shoot her, you know. And he's like, no. and then the dad's like, fine, I'll do it myself. And then Warner's like, shoot her and I will put a bullet through your skull. How romantic. He's protective of her. I know why we had to say goodbye like the back of my hand, but I still miss you and I wish you were a better man. Let me try to make sense of this. She just killed Aaron's dad, Anderson. Then Kenji and Adam show up and Adam like rushes to the ground and he's like, my father! This man is my father! So she killed his father? Are they like siblings? Maybe they're half siblings because Warner took his mom's name. Am I looking at that line correctly? This whole thing is reminding me of Big Brother in 1984. It's very complicated here, but now I think Adam wants to kill Aaron. See, why'd they have to pick two A names? It's very confusing. You know, Aaron and Adam, they're so similar. Juliet is showing concerning tendencies. I'm going to tell you a secret. I don't regret what I did. I'm not sorry. In fact, if I had a chance to do it again, I'd shoot Anderson right to the heart, and I would enjoy it. Wait a minute. So is he not dead then? She just said, this time, if I do it again, I'd do it right. I'd shoot Anderson through the heart. So is he dead? But then why was he being like, my father's dead? Okay, I don't really know what's going on because, look, is Dad dead or not? Okay, so he's actually not dead. She just shot him. But then what was all that kerfuffle about him being dead then? I thought because he can't touch you that you wouldn't feel threatened by him. But he can. He can, and that's the problem. So, you know how he like has her diary and he's reading it? Well, this is what he said. After, you know, Juliet wrote a really long thing about saying how she would run. This is what he said. Do you know? I couldn't sleep for days after I read that entry. I keep wanting to know which people were chasing you down the street. Who it was that you were running from. I wanted to find them. And I wanted to rip their limbs off one by one. I wanted to murder them in ways that would horrify you to hear. Okay. I don't even know what to say to that. At least he cares about her. Would you like me to read to you? My dream man, for real. So, Warner, he has dimples. I have dimples. Bonding experience. He just called her beautiful. That's so lovely. I don't even know why Warner can touch me. It's because you're soulmates, and it's the power of love, and the power of love prevails. Do you still love me? Just because I'm going to hell, Warner says, doesn't mean you'll ever deserve her. I like this man. I'm showing this because I want you guys to see some fan art that I saw of this. Shakespeare. He calls her love. He's definitely British. Also, today I'm minding my own business and someone comments on my video this. I'm not British, you idiot. Don't be so stupid. Like, I saw that comment and I'm just like, if you're gonna insult me, do it right. I'm Australian. I believe they are friends now. Castle has just dropped the bomb to Adam that Aaron can touch Juliet without dying. And now Adam is all like, when did this happen? And then she's, in her mind, she's thinking about how he said he loved her and how they kiss and everything. And I know Warner is rich because Adam swears and then he's like, such unfortunate language. Only those who cannot express themselves intelligently would resort to such crude substitutions in vocabulary. He's definitely rich. Only rich people talk like that. And now Adam's like, I will kill you. These entire books is just people, you know, saying, I'm gonna kill you. Like, what happened to peace and love? What happened to treating everyone with kindness? Poor Kenji, everyone thought he was dead. Juliet's over here like, no, I've killed him. Oh, I feel so guilty. And then Warner's like, it wasn't you. It was actually me. Funny. He literally says, you didn't kill him, love. I just can't, okay. Every time he says that word, I just imagine an old man. So, Warner himself does have a gift, which I'm pretty sure I already said, but just in case I didn't, he does. I think his power is that he can steal people's energies. Warner and Juliet were just in a very precarious position, and she completely forgot that she is supposed to love Adam. But are they actually broken up? I don't actually know. I feel like because she was like, stay away, but then, this is cheating. I can't remember if they're actually, it's all too confusing. They don't actually say anything explicitly. They're like, no, we can't be together, but then they are together. So I don't really understand, but all I know is that if they are together, they definitely just cheated. I don't like cheaters. Just break up. Please. You're choosing him? Is that what happened? You're choosing Kenda for me? Because I don't think I understand. Back with the dramatics. Okay, so there was a war. Juliet was attacked, she passed out, and now she's waking up in this weird house, and I'm pretty sure she's wearing his clothes. What is Aaron's dad talking about? You kids remember each other, right? Do they know each other? It's not saying. They're just skipping over that line. What does that even mean? It's like he pulls out a gun and shoots me in his chest, right? That's Anderson. But the thing is, I don't even know if he like literally shot her or if this is just a metaphor. Because she loves metaphors. She loves being like, he shot me when he actually didn't. So I actually don't know. See, my heart has exploded. See, has she actually been shot or is this just a metaphor? Okay, no, I think she actually was shot. But we shouldn't have to question that. We shouldn't have to be like, wait, did she actually get shot or is this just a play on language devices? Okay, we have reached the end. She woke up with Warner. And the ending line for this book is, and I'm leaving my gloves behind, because she has to wear gloves. So she has to, so she doesn't hurt anyone. Oh, actually, you know what? You want to know why I like this author? Do you see in her acknowledgements? Do you see what she said? This is what she said. She said, thanks always to my readers. Without you, I'd have no one to talk about the characters in my head. Thank you for sharing. See, this is what I like. See, I really like the author as a person because she's nice. My mind has gotten used to ignoring all the dramatics. All in all, I would say that this is definitely my favorite out of all three of them that I have read. Last night I read Fracture Me, and I would say, honestly, reading 2 books and 2 novellas in 2 days is pretty good. So let's discuss Fracture Me. It's written from Adam's perspective. I will say this book doesn't deal with the dramatics that Warner and Juliet experience. So like, you know how Warner and Juliet, they have all their metaphors and stuff. Adams doesn't have that, which
Well, there have been a few times where I did read and I'm like, that's very dramatic for him to say that, but nowhere near to the extent. So the book starts with James, his like 10-year-old brother.
This is a little introduction to James. He's just basically a little kid, really, that's all.
Waking up Adam, and it's actually so cute because he calls him Addie. It's actually really interesting because no one knows that Juliet wasn't actually the one to attack Kenji. It was Warner, but no one knows that. Everyone is like just talking about how he's escaped his room at Omega Point. Everyone's preparing to attack Sector 45, which is, you know, where the nuclear stuff is. And while Adam's in the tank, like, thinking about Juliet, my girl, she's just canoodling with Warner. He can't stop thinking about his little brother and, like, comparing him to Juliet. I think he's, like, trying to see where he literally said, I don't know where my loyalties lie anymore. I think it's a different thing. It ends with him believing that Juliet is dead. I know this is so short, but there's not really like that much to say. I don't really have anything to say about it because it's kind of boring. You know, again, I just feel like so much was said, but not a lot happened. Fracture Me is the one that goes before Ignite Me. I think this just like helps setting it up. Let's read Ignite Me, I guess. I'm actually excited to read that book. I'm actually really getting into this series, and I didn't think I was going to, but I am. It's fun to have a series. It's fun to see characters again and again. Maybe the writing isn't the best, but I don't care if I haven't had something to obsess over, to read. I'm honestly really grateful that I've read those books. I am going to try my hardest to make sure each book that I read, I do something different. I currently have 30 minutes of footage, but I've edited up until this point, which I'm really grateful because if I didn't edit on the go, I would literally have so much. So I'm very excited. Oh, that's not me. That's not me pointing the knife at you. I'm just gonna do my little chores, eat my toast, drink my coffee, and then get into it. This is cream cheese on toast, always a classic. Then I have this pre-made coffee thing. You already saw my taste test yesterday, but it still is good and it's easy. I just don't want to make my own coffee.
Let me tell you what Ignite Me is about. With the Omega Point destroyed, Juliet doesn't know if the rebels, her friends, or even Adam are alive, but that won't keep her from trying to take down the re-establishment once and for all. Now she must rely on Warner. Amazon literally calls him the handsome commander of Sector 45, the one person she never thought she could trust, the same person who saved her life. He promises to help Juliet master her powers and save their dying world, but that's not all he wants with her. I love this author.
I am an hourglass.
Remember when Warner's dad shot Juliet and she was like dying? Well, chapter 1 starts with Juliet waking up in bed. Aaron is there. He's all like, the battle is over. They're all dead. Basically, Warner transferred his powers to the twins so they could save Juliet. Juliet's then in denial and is like, no, all my friends can't be dead. And then after a little bit of discussion, Warner's like, I'll help you fight.
Wait, Warner has no one. His dad is a terrible person and his mom doesn't even know who he is anymore. He hasn't, that's so sad.
I became obsessed with trying to help her.
This is reminding me so much of a different story that I literally love.
Also, remember when Juliet had to torture a small child? Yeah, well, turns out it was all a simulation. And you cannot judge me, but I don't care.
Warner is like Batman. He's a vigilante.
But he's also a fashionista because he has a lot of clothes.
Me and Juliet are bonding because I literally have nightmares every single night and she just had a nightmare. You allow the world to think you're a heartless murderer, I tell him, and you're not. No, he says, I'm afraid I'm just a regular kind. This is reminding me so much of the story that I was telling you about before.
Then Warner basically says that Adam is like a dog.
Juliet is talking about how Adam's nice to her. And he's like, you should get a dog. They have the same qualities.
Then he brought her coffee.
She was transported in a body bag. You know, where they put dead people.
Then she sees the remains of Omega Point and she's devastated.
Guys, he just tackled her to the ground so she wouldn't be shot. How nice!
Aaron then becomes invisible. Kenji becomes distraught because there was originally 100 people and now there's only 9.
He's in love with me? Don't even worry, guys. You know, one day when someone's in love with me, I'll let you know.
Get it, I guess.
This dude named Ian was like, wait,
What are we gonna do? You know, what if he can steal our powers? I would be so embarrassed if I was him, because then you know what this dude named Winston says to him? This dude named Winston, he's like, well, you don't actually even have any powers, so you don't have to be worried. Adam then becomes like really mean. Why is he being so mean? This man is standing at the door and there are 6 guns pointed at his face and he's not even paying any attention to that. He's paying attention to her. He's holding her hand. I think that everyone needs to hear this quote. I do know that if Adam really loved me, he wouldn't have treated me the way he did today. And this is very important because just because someone tells you that they love you, it doesn't mean that they actually do. If their actions don't align with what a loving person would do, then they don't love you. They are simply just saying a word to you. I just read the part about how he got his scars and they were birthday presents and his dad would whip him.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Okay, I've just finished that. I didn't do any more reading vlogs. This author, her acknowledgements, she always makes sure to include the reader, which I love. This is what I didn't update on. They did lots of training, preparing for the war. Warner and Juliet progressed physically, if you know what I mean. Juliet killed Anderson in his head. 1 for Adam, 1 for Aaron. They win the war. And then Juliet's like, hey guys, I'm gonna rule the nation now. If you wanna challenge me, then challenge me. We can fight. We can go outside. And obviously no one is going to do that. And then the ending scene, Aaron being like, they're gonna come after us. And Juliet's like, yeah, I'd like to see them try. So that's the end of that. It was originally just Shatter Me, Unravel Me, and Ignite Me. So then why is there like 100 other books? The next book in this is Restore Me. This is what I currently think, but everything is subject to change. I went into Restore Me thinking it was going to be a cute little book with dual point of views, but let me tell you, there was so much drama. More happened in this than all the other ones. Also, sorry, but I pretty much filmed my every single reaction for every single thing that happened. There are so many things that don't make sense. She's got no experience leading, but then is just expected to lead everyone? Poor Kenji. I think that the writing improved a lot, but I still stand by the fact that I don't think that she should have been Supreme Commander. Literally anyone else would have been better than her. Anyone else. Like, just because she has like the most dangerous power does not mean she should be the one in charge. I don't like that. I also keep forgetting that she's literally 17. She should not be the Supreme Commander. This is our first introduction into Nazira, and I already love her. I was putting aside the fact that Juliet has a guy best friend purely for the fact that it was Kenji. Now, Nazira has entered the scene, right? And Kenji's like, she's beautiful. And then Juliet's like, I guess. Shut up, Juliet. And then Kenji's like accusing her of being jealous. And she's like, I'm not jealous, I'm just having a hard time. The fact that he likes someone? I don't like Juliet. I don't know if I've made that clear, but I don't think there's been a single one where I have liked Juliet. I like the other characters, some of them, but just not her. Sometimes when we're together, I can hardly breathe. I wonder if she knows that I would do anything for her. This man! He is otherworldly. This new job is more than I bargained for. I'd so much rather shoot someone. She is not right for this position. She would rather be the violence, but there's more to ruling over a nation properly than just violence. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but she should have just never been in this position. She's just been shot. There's poison, and what's the first thing that she sees? Thinking I see a bird in the sky. Not just one of them, but many. She's got a thing for birds. I love Nazira. She just killed the guy that, shot Juliet. I love her. She was definitely jealous when Kenji thought that Nazira was attractive, because when he was like, so do you think she's pretty? Juliet was like, I guess. But now that she's like poisoned, she's like to her, you're so strong, you're so pretty, I want to be like you. She was definitely jealous. Poor Aaron, he's so panicked about her. Wait, so Juliet has a sister called Emmeline?
Dude, what is going on? She's dreaming about the birds again. This is Warner, her sister. I'm haunted at once by a memory of her, brown-haired and bony, jerking uncontrollably underwater. She's only a year older than Juliet, and she's been held in captivity for 12 years. I had no idea she was Juliet's sister. I had no idea she was anyone at all. When I first met my assignment, she had no name. I was only given instructions in order to follow them. Did he torture the sister? Because in one of the books, Anderson was like to Juliet, do you even know what he did to become a Sector 45 person? Is it the fact that he tortured her sister? I think he did. He's talking about how he's got to confess to her, not just but the truth about her sister, that I contributed to the torture. Or this, that I am the true monster, completely and utterly unworthy of her love. I will lose her and it will kill me. Is that foreshadowing? Damn. So that's what he did. He's about to tell her. He's just said, I gotta talk to you, and he's not showing any emotion. Warner was crying because James, the little guy, he was like, were you crying? And typically when someone asks, were you crying? You definitely were. This is scary. Maybe she'll understand. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know. Oh, they're having relations now. I think their wonderful, cute little life is about to disappear.
Put your money in your shoes. I walked.
Your life has been an experiment, he says. Boom! You have a sister, he says. She's still alive. Boom! Your biological parents gave you and your sister to the re-establishment for scientific research.
With me. Money on my head.
He says he didn't know. I'm crying. Stop telling me this is scream.
The money hang with me. Money on my head.
She'd begged me to release her, he says. She'd begged for mercy and I never gave it, so okay. And I stop. Okay, that's, ooh, it's 11:11 on the clock just then.
Your shoes. I walked to the money. You know what I'm saying? Money on my...
You lied to me. How can I ever trust you again? Well, this is a very peculiar situation. How can we ever go back? How can you expect me to forget all of this? I can see the hope go out of his eyes. I have to go. Oh, did they just break up? This is Warner now. So this is agony. This would genuinely be heartbreak. Like, I don't even know what to say about this entire situation. So Aaron, he's having a panic attack right now. Kenji's gonna help him. I don't know what to say about all this. I don't like liars, but like at the same time, like this is a very peculiar situation. I reorganized all my lip gloss. Look, I went through them throughout the ones that I didn't like, and then look, these are like my lip balms that I have. Which one should I? Which one? I know I'm not stalling. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go with the basic. I don't know what to say about all this, really. Like, I just keep saying the same thing because, like, I just don't know what to say about it. Like, I don't know what to say. Run, I said to myself. The thing is, I can relate to this, but anytime I have a problem, I run away. Just, like, run. But I'd always come back, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I just want to say that, you know, because when someone goes missing, one of the first questions is, well, have they ever run away? I've run away in a sense that, like, I left the house and I ran and came back after a few hours. I just want to say that. I just need to clarify that in case I ever go missing and the police are like, well, has she ever run away? I don't mean, like, actually running away. I just mean, like, literally, like, physically running, you know? Sorry, that was a piece of my hair. What's so annoying about my hair is that it always falls out and it irritates me. Warner has just, like, let out the fact that, you know, he has been in previous relationships, which, like, makes sense because he's, like, what, 19? But he's just never told Juliet. But then again, this is a different situation. They haven't had a stereotypical relationship where you kind of like get to talking and then you reveal all that stuff. But on one hand, like, we need to know how long that he's been with these women. I'm always scared I'm going to curse myself. So if I say something like, I will never date someone like that, I probably will. Typically, like, if I meet someone and they've been in a long-term relationship for like many years, I don't think I want that. Because at that point, like, she's literally your wife. Watch the person that I find. They just got out of like a 7-year relationship. No, thank you. But I gotta watch out. I'm gonna curse myself. Why do I keep hitting my poor phone? He says that they didn't mean anything. Then why were you in them? Nazira and Julia are just having a wonderful little girls trip. I really like her because I was starting to feel like every single character we were being introduced to were all males, and it's like, where are the women at?
Where are the women?
Nazira, she had to read War and Peace in all the different languages so she could see how all the countries manipulate the language. War and Peace, that's a big book. Isn't it like that big? Okay, I'm being dramatic, but there's a lot of words in that. Wait a second. We've been introduced to another female character. Her name is Lena. Remember how we were just talking about how we had relationships? Watch this girl be someone who's in a relationship with. She just slapped him. And yet, you wonder why things didn't work out between us. Always so cold, always so cruel. 2 years and you have to message my mother telling they were together for 2 years. That's not too bad, actually. I know he said that it didn't like mean anything, but they were together for 2 years. That's a long time to be with someone for it to not mean anything. You are a monster. Babe, he knows he's a monster, alright? He just had a panic attack over the fact that he was a monster. I don't love you. I never have. And I never led you to believe I did. Were they in like an arranged relationship? This is the only reason why any of this makes any sense. She's just screaming at him. I like how there are little excerpts from the other books, right? But in the bottom it says an excerpt from Juliet's journals in the asylum instead of being like, this was from Unravel Me, this was from Ignite Me, you know, like this one here about loneliness, that was in Unravel Me. But I know that was originally a trilogy and then she made other ones, and so I'm pretty sure there's like a large gap between that. Julia just shaved all her hair off. What is happening? What is happening? She just chopped off all her hair. You know how they say hair hold memories? Well, she just cut it all off. Is this book like a how-to guide on hairstyles? Because at the start, Aaron, his hair was all messed up because Kenji messed it up. Lena and Juliet have just met. Lena was all like, hi, it's nice to finally meet Warner's girlfriend. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I meant ex-girlfriend. And then she's like, you can call me the Supreme Commander of North America. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, most of the Supreme Commanders are like old. They're old. And they didn't want to meet with Juliet, so they sent their children instead. And I'd say it's probably because she's like 17. So yeah, they're having a little conference kind of thing. Juliet knows about Lena and their relationship. She just can't can think about as them being together. Warner was like, dude, it literally was nothing, like it was just physical. And she's like, do you remember the nuclear place, Sector 45? I keep calling it the nuclear place. It's not actually, is it? It's just a place, but to get out of it you gotta go through like the nuclear stuff. Yeah, but apparently they're gonna like get rid of it. Okay, so Juliet's doing a little announcement. She's like, guys, we're denouncing the re-establishment's plans to obliterate languages and literature. And then someone shoots her, but it just dents her head. And so she just like peels it out. There's mass chaos. They're all shouting at her, threatening her, pointing guns at her. She screams. And every single person in her line of sight, 554 people, all in their gas, their faces, their bodies, they're sliced open like a fresh fish. They all drop dead. So she's able to kill like people so easily. I didn't want to talk about this line, but I'm going to. It was mentioned in Shatter Me, and when I was acquainted with it, I just pretended that I didn't. I was just like, that there is no way that Julia just said that. I only know now that scientists are wrong. The world is flat. I know because I was tossed right off the edge. The first time, I tried to ignore it. Now it's just pandemonium. Warner's on his knees, getting handcuffed. Castle's unconscious. Poor Castle. He's just always getting unconscious, I swear. Winston is screaming. Brandon is dead. Lily. Ian. Ian, that was the guy who was like, we gotta be scared of Warner. We gotta be scared of him. And they were like, Ian, you don't have any powers. Oh, what? We've just come in contact with her parents? Hang on a second. Oceania. You know, that's where I live. I live in Oceania. What is this? I don't know if things are wrong, but what on earth is this? Why is it just a bunch of random lines? I'm gonna look that up. What book is this? Restore Me. Tell me! Why was the last chapter of Warner formed like a blank journal? She wants us to write his story ourselves. Oh, okay. So other people are experiencing this as well. Someone named Ash says this. It is meant to represent how he isn't conscious. This leads the reader to question whether he is alive or dead. Well, we know he's not dead because there's like 100 other books. Unless he is dead. Surely he's not dead. Why are there so many other books? Like, normally they don't kill off the main character like halfway through and still have so many other books at the end of it. But at least I know that it wasn't like a malfunction. Wait a minute, maybe there's the lines there because he doesn't have Juliet in his life. So he's like all sad and it's supposed to be a metaphor like he can't think anymore. I'm on the home stretch now. Where is she? She's in her childhood bedroom. There's mountains, there's a lake. Her parents are called Evie and Maximilian Summers. Maximilian, like the horse in... No! I was gonna say the horse entangled me. No, it's Maximus. I can't believe I almost got that wrong. Wait a minute. They're in New Zealand. Because Oceania is like Australia, New Zealand, and all the little islands all around. All is well. We've found her a suitable family. No sign of powers yet, but we'll keep a close eye on her. Still, I must advise you to put her out of your mind. She and Emmeline have had their memories expunged. That's why she can't remember her parents. They were literally taken out of her mind. Oh, wait, so those random people, those weren't her parents. She was adopted. Wait, we knew this. We literally just discussed this. In Paris. Wait a minute. Oh, goodness, sorry. Wait a minute. Does that mean... Okay, so if Warner met Emmeline, wouldn't he have met Juliet as well? Does that make any sense? Is this stupid? Is this a stupid take? Remember there was that really weird line in Unravel Me? And it was right before Juliet was shot and we were like, wait, did she actually get shot or is this metaphorical? But right before that, Anderson was like... Do you guys remember each other? Wait a minute. Have I just put the pieces together? Did they know each other? Did Warner and Juliet, did they know each other? But then why wouldn't she remember? Memories expunged. Did the dad do that? Did he? You watching this know what happened. I don't. So I'm just blindly making takes. Wait a minute, what's going on here? The first picture is of two little girls in matching little dresses. Is that her and her sister? I put Ella's first day of school. I thought the sister's name was Emmeline. No, the sister's name was Emmeline. Wasn't it? The stack of photos falls. Get out of here. A few of the photos landed face up on the desk, and I can't stop looking at them. 3 little brown-haired girls. Ella, Emmeline, and Nazira. Wait a minute. So, is her name not even Juliet? Is her name not even Juliet? Is it Ella? What is it with people trying to make siblings have the same name, you know? Like Aaron and Adam, Ella, Emmeline, and I freeze, stunned for the air leave my body. It's a picture of a little boy sitting next to a little girl. She's sitting in a stairwell. He looks at her, Aaron and Ella. They did! I was right. Okay, this is too confusing. Anderson make them forget each other. The room turns around me, I see spots for myself, so, and then all at once, well, it goes black. It's just ended right there. Wait, let me try to wrap my head around this. Juliet's name is not Juliet. It was originally Ella. Ella and Emmeline were like test subjects. They knew Warner, Aaron Warner, when they were kids. So they were like, you know, having fun as being little kids. And then Anderson got their memories expunged so they wouldn't remember. And that's why there was that weird line in Unravel Me where it was like, you two remember each other? And then, what happened after that? And then, why is my... I just look up and my picture is like tilted. Wait, what was I saying? I think I've made sense of it. Imagine if I'm just wrong. I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna come back here, sit down and read the next one. You know how in all the other books I was like, so much is being said but nothing is happening? I feel like for the ending there, not a lot was said but so much was happening. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. I didn't like majority of Restore Me. I just thought it was boring, and I still stand by my decision that Juliet should have never been put in charge, but things are getting interesting. Let's read the next one. Which one is that?
So we've read Shatter Me, Destroy Me, Unravel Me, Fracture Me, Ignite Me, Restore Me. Now up to Shatter Me. Before we begin, I need to clarify a few things. I thought that this book was to go after Restore Me. I didn't know that it was actually happening at the same time, so I was very confused and a lot of things don't make any sense because in my mind I was just like, why are they repeating all of this again? And because I was tired and kind of sick of reading, I was like, didn't pick up the fact that it was the same scene until a little bit, so a lot of the start is very confusing, but just bear with me, okay? Okay, so we're going into Shatter Me. Juliet has just found out that even more of her life has been a lie because her memory was expunged. Let's see what this story is about before we read it. Okay, so Juliet is still reeling from Warner's betrayal, and Kenji is trying to balance his friendship with her. Well, I'm glad that Juliet's not being a leader again. That was quite disastrous last time.
Money. You know what I'm saying? Money on my watch.
But she was in New Zealand. She's not gonna be in New Zealand anymore? Okay, let's see. It's only 8 chapters. This book is from Kenji's point of view, and it appears that Juliet has come home from Oceania, I think. Well, from New Zealand, but New Zealand is a part of Oceania. I think this perfectly sums up the last part in Restore Me. Apparently Juliet has a longer sister. Apparently Warner tortured Juliet's sister. Warner and Juliet broke up. Juliet ran off screaming. Warner had a panic attack. Warner's ex-girlfriend showed up. His ex-girlfriend slapped him. Juliet got drunk. Jay got drunk. She shaved her head. Alright. Aaron wakes up at 3 in the morning. He's in love with Naziro. He is very deeply in love with Naziro. Why do you insist on eating like an animal? Don't you dare speak to me with your mouth full. So Juliet now has a buzz cut, and do you know Part of Me by Katy Perry, that song? There's a music clip and like in it she like shaves her head in the bathroom, and like I just keep imagining that like that's kind of what her hair looks like now. Like it's not even bad. Like I haven't watched too many things about the entire Shatter Me series because I didn't want anything to be spoiled for myself, but I did know that she did shave her head, and I did know that quite a lot of people did not like that. Why not? Why didn't they like her hair having a buzz cut? What is so bad about that? I genuinely do not understand. Oh dear, they're having a heated conversation? At least they're communicating. Communication is key. Do you reckon they're going to get back together in this novella? I don't think they're going to. Just as I said that, they're now just kissing in the hallway. No, I am right, because after that happened, then she panicked, she ran down the hall, and now he's laying on the ground. I'm just gonna leave this one right here. Okay, so there was an ambush. People are dying. People are not doing very well. Juliet is now screaming. Oh, wait. This is not after. This is during. I'm so stupid. Okay, so this is during. I was gonna say, I was like, hang on a second, because it ended on her getting a buzz cut, and I'm like, she got that, like, okay, no, so she is still in Oceania. I'm so confused. So Juliet just murdered 600 people at once. Alright. I thought it was like 558. Okay, so now we're seeing the aftermath. Okay, never mind. So now she's gone. She still is in Oceania. See? Juliet is gone, not figuratively. I like how it has to say that. If it was in the first or second book, Juliet being gone, she actually isn't. She's literally gone, disappeared 1 second, she's in my arms the next, gasping for air, so she's gone. What was the point of this then? What was the point of this? To establish a little bit about, what's his name? I think this novella was just to simply establish a relationship between Kenji and Naziro, and sort of just follow the aftermath. So what's next? Defy Me is next. I think I'm going to take a break. I'm going to edit everything and then read that. We have 4 things left. This is interesting. All right.
I had a little bit of a breakdown, but that's okay because it's time to read the next book. I can see some mountains.
You know it's this. Take a perk and talk it and
So I'm going to read Defy Me. The first thing I noticed is that when I'm looking in the content section, we have Kenji, Warner, Juliet. But then a little further down, we have Ella. And
And from the last book, I know that technically Juliet's name is Ella. So does that mean that in this book then she wants to be called Ella? I'm pretty sure this book talks about how Juliet has been like taken by her parents. She's in Oceania and she's just dealing with that. We're a few pages in and we have a flashback between Warner and Ella, which is Juliet. She's like, I'm gonna kill him, talking about Aaron's dad, and he's like, he's unkillable. But then she does kill him. I think flashbacks can be so heart-wrenching. Oh, this is when he's a kid and he's talking about how his back hurts. And do you remember how Aaron's mum is sick? This is kind of the start of it. I feel like this is definitely going to be a little bit of a roller coaster, especially considering I'm not doing that well today. And I haven't really had anything to focus on. So this series, I'm actually so invested in it, it's probably unhealthy. I kind of forgot about Adam. Okay, so Juliet's in the room. She's talking to Anderson, who's Aaron's dad. And then Aaron is like, stop, she's scared. This is all reminding me of Stranger Things season 4 when Elle, it's a flashback to her as a little kid. And like Papa's there and there's all the drama and kerfuffle. And then one helps her, you know, and you know, one and Aaron, they both have like blonde hair, but I just can't stop thinking about that in my mind. Also, I don't think that I have done a Nazira character profile yet, so I'm going to insert that now.
Nazira is the daughter of Supreme Commander of Asia. She knew Juliet when they were small. She's cool and she doesn't take any drama.
Delulu's been here from the start.
I don't want to speak too soon because whenever I speak too soon, disaster strikes. However, I like this book better than any of the other ones that I've read so far. There's none of that dramatic nonsense. Let's hope it doesn't come back to bite me for saying that. But Kenji and Nazira have just kissed. Juliet's just been slapped by her mother. She's like to them, what have you done to Warner? And they're like, stop talking about that boy. Bam, put a syringe in her neck. Also, I swear Winston and Ian died. But then here they are, they're talking in this. So they weren't actually dead, but they just thought that they were dead. The reason he had to keep wiping their memories was because it didn't matter how many times he reset their story or remade the introduction. Aaron always fell in love with her every time. I like amnesia most of the times. I know that's a controversial trope and a lot of people don't like it, but I do. Guys, I like this book. Delulu is Aaron's grandpa. Delulu was just shot by Anderson. But I swear Anderson was dead. Does Anderson also have powers? And is his powers like he can come back to life? He was shot twice in the head. The parents are just torturing Juliet. Sorry, Ella. He's a zombie. Nazira? Anderson's like, who do you think's been keeping me informed? So she's the bad guy. Why do I always like the bad people? Actually, this is Anderson. Why would I ever believe Anderson? This is making me feel sick. This is making me feel physically sick. I should have stopped at the trilogy. My nightmares take me by the throat. Relatable. The changing of the tide. Do you remember when she shaved her head, right? Well, she just woke up one morning and all her hair's back. But her mum's like, no, what are you talking about? It was always long. Aaron Warner Anderson. He's the only constant, the only steady, reliable heartbeat I've ever had. Aaron. I had no idea how much we lost. I knew Nazira wasn't bad. Now she's helping Kenji get out of his restraints. Oh, so they're in Oceania. They're going to try to find her. Juliet, Ella, whatever her name is. I was going to call her Juliet. Or maybe Ella. I don't know what I'm going to call her. Because remember when I said I'm only going to call Aaron Warner. I'm only going to call him Warner. I've completely not done that. Hi, birthday boy. That makes me feel sick. The reason why Juliet was thinking run and don't look back is because that's what her sister told her. Because she's like, Emmeline, is that you? And then she can hear help. I think the sister has powers to get words into other people's heads. Warner's dad was dying. Juliet's parents saved him. He spent his time convalescing. They revived him. They have terrible parents. Juliet found her sister like rotting in a water tank. You know how like the world is uninhabitable? That's because of her mind. Because she got like special mind powers. Then she punched her mom and ripped her heart out. Not metaphorically. No, not metaphorically. literally like reached into her skin and was like, and you want to know how bonded Warner and Juliet are? He also just killed his father. So they both like killed a parent at the same time. No one can kill Anderson. He was just brought back to life. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. When is this man gonna like go? I no longer feel as sick anymore. They're having the talk. They're both being like, do you remember me? I am literally so scared of marriage. It's not even funny. So are they back together yet? For some reason, I always feel better when Castle is around. They've crash landed in like Castle's daughter's place. They say the word kill so many times. Like literally just now. I have to kill my sister. It's what she wants. It's the only way. I mean, I get it. She's been suffering for a really long time and she doesn't want to live anymore. I get it. Guys, I don't believe this. He's like, marry me. And she's like, yes. They're engaged and she's about to throw him a birthday party. All their family, all of them are gonna be at the party. This is, after all, what we're fighting for, isn't it? A second chance at joy. Yeah, but isn't there still like 3 things left? I'm a little bit scared that things are gonna go terribly. They also have terrible coping mechanisms. Like Juliet just saw her decaying sister, learned out all this stuff about her, killed her mom, and just is getting married? Just pretending like none of that happened? I feel like she needs to go and process that. I just can't believe that like all the old characters, they're just not in it anymore. Like James and Adam. Especially Adam. Adam's just like not even there. Like I literally forgot about him until the start of the book when they briefly mentioned him. But I swear Anderson better die, because there's only so much I can take of this whole he's being brought back to life. Because how many times has he been killed? He's been killed too many times for him to still be alive.
This is the current ranking. Things may change, they may not. If people want, I can sort of explain my reasonings.
I'm hoping that because this is a novella that I can just knock it over quickly. That's such a pretty colour. I love the purple. I love the sparkles. I love purple sparkles. That is pink sparkles, but you get the idea. I'm pretty sure this is in Kenji's point of view. They're at the sanctuary. Everything is a fancy campsite. Everything is nice. This place was newer, cleaner, and brighter than anything we had at Omega Point. Rest in peace, Wolf Place. This is why I like Kenji. He is considerate. No one seemed to care that Adam and James were missing. So they get to the sanctuary, everyone's having the great time of their life, and he is the one who's like, hang on, we're missing part of our pack here. Spoken like a true wolf. And so Kenji's worried about them, and everyone's like, no dude, he's just hanging out at the nuclear site. He wants to stay there. Leave him be. And they mention that there's nothing they can do to save James. Speaking of James, this is not speaking of James, but look at my beautiful artwork. Okay, so like Kenji's like, I can't eat. And then Nazira's like, are you okay? And then he just shakes his head, and then he sees Juliet and Warner kissing, and then she's like, wait, do you love her? Are you in love with her? This is the problem when you have girl and guy best friends. No one can tell. I think they just got into a little bit of a fight. Juliet and Warner, they're in their engagement phase. They're just like ignoring everything that's going wrong. Is she still 17? I let the heat boil me alive. The dramatics are creeping their way back in. So Anderson has just stolen all the kids. He's keeping them hostage. See, Kenji was right. He was like, Adam and James, like, then they wouldn't just leave. And everyone's like, no. Turns out they've been kidnapped. Well, at least James has been kidnapped. I feel like Adam... Oh, no, because Adam doesn't really have any powers. I mean, he can disarm people's powers, but then it just hurts him. So technically his powers, but like, not really. He can't really do much. I must be out of my mind. That's got to be it. There's no other reason why I'd swear in Castle's face, scream at his daughter, fight his own brothers. Do you guys remember in Harry Potter when Ron has the Horcrux and he's like being terrible? Is this another situation like that? I am with Kenji. Like, he doesn't know what her name is, right? This is what he says. And then I just can't see her as Ella. It's Juliet. I should have let you freeze to death in Ken's old apartment. I should have let those rodents devour your carefully preserved carcass. What a lovely thing to say. Something is definitely wrong with Kenji. His mind went all weird and then he's just passed out. Don't worry guys, he just needs sleep. He just attacked Nazira. He was in his room, he heard something, he threw a gun, and then he just crash tackled. You know when they kissed? That was her first kiss.
They're just talking together. Their relationship is being established a bit further. Now someone has just screamed. It's probably Juliet. She's always screaming. Oh. Juliet is there, obviously. Her hands are like clamped around her head. One is like next to her, worried. This time the scream is aimed, not again, I think. Please, not again. Because the last time she screamed, she killed like 554 people. But this is apparently one of pain and travesty. So she says, Emmeline, please don't do this. And that's her sister with the mind control. Emmeline's just like inside her mind. Malignant. Do you know Malignant? That movie? There were these twins and the girl, she had him at the back of her head. They did like surgery or whatever. But then, many years later, the girl was with an abusive guy. The abusive guy slammed her head against the wall, reawoken the twin. Then the twin was like killing people. Is this what's gonna happen? Is this a Malignant situation? I guess we better find out. I don't really like the cover for Imagine Me. And we're back with the birds. At least now we know why she thinks about the birds. It's because her mum took her to the birds. A sulfur-crested cockatoo. Some birds I don't mind. Other birds I can't even look at without feeling uncomfortable. So we're going to do this together because I do have a little bit of a fear of birds. Okay, let's look it up together. Oh, I don't like these birds. See, I see these birds all the time. All the time. And I don't like them. So the white birds are really cockatoos. Her mother was born in Australia. I was born in Australia. I am in Australia. Breathe, he whispers. I'm right here, lover. He's so nice. Emmeline is doing something to her mind. She's given her back all her memories from when she was a kid. She forgot when she was proposed to, the name of Castle's daughter. She only forgot for like 2 minutes. But I see where this is gonna go. Soon she's gonna forget everything. And she's dangerous, and so then she's probably gonna kill everyone because we know she's capable of that. She keeps calling Aaron Warner, and before that was always a thing. It was always a thing for her to call him Aaron, and now she's calling him Warner again. See, her mind's getting messed up. What in tarnation? This is basically Malignant. Remember when Kenji was acting all weird? It's because Emmeline was trying to invade his mind. Emmeline's in a really bad place. You don't say. She can exist at least partially in Ella's body, both consciousness in one person. How? It's like Malignant. Am I reading Malignant? Malignant's not a story, it's a movie. Warner, he's just covered in blood. And he's like, hell, I've finally found hell. That's sad. Juliet's like this. I wake in waves, consciousness bathing me slowly. I break the surface of sleep, gasping for air before I'm pulled under another current. That's basically like drowning. And do you remember when Aaron was, you know, thinking about Emmeline and how she was like jerking under the water? That's kind of like drowning. Adam was a test subject and they've just met him. Juliet's in a little coma. And if things can't get any worse, the sanctuary was just invaded. So a particularly gruesome scene was just shown to us. Nazira, Hader, Warner, and Stefan walk calmly through the wreckage. Kenji's like, I don't know what they've seen or what they've been a part of that makes them be able to stand here so relatively cool in the face of so much human devastation. And that just like shows you, like, Anderson is just like, give us Juliet. If you don't give us Juliet, we're gonna kill James. You said that Emmeline's body was deteriorating. You need a replacement, a new body. Take me? I hope he has a plan. Or so then Juliet stops being in pain. He's gonna do that so then Juliet stops being in pain. Never mind, his dad was just like, no. Emmeline is nearly dead. Once her body is removed from the tank, you will take her place. Until then, no one comes to the funeral. I've been thinking about my funeral. I don't want a lot of people at my funeral. I only want the people that genuinely know me. The people who are in my life. If I die, and you don't even talk with me, so you don't even know that I'm dead, I don't want you coming to my funeral. And a lot of the times people come to funerals because they were a horrible person. They want to apologize, you know, so everything can be right in their mind and they don't feel as guilty. I don't want that. This is just in case I die soon. Yeah, I only want people who are currently in my life, like people who would genuinely notice if I was to die. If not, don't come to my funeral because I don't want you there. I'll come back and haunt you. Juliet's mind has been wiped again. Anderson's asking about her family, asking about her boyfriend, friends. She says none. This is gonna be dangerous, isn't it? You are my master. Okay. What is this? Now say it, he says. Sir, tell me that I am your master. You are my master. Good, very good. Okay, what is this? Something is telling me it's gonna need a lot more than a true love's kiss to break whatever's going on here. They're gonna try to rescue her, and that's gonna be terrible because she doesn't know who they are. I'm getting quite a lot of Stranger Things vibes, season 4 here. Okay, so she just attacked a kid. Then she says she's disappointed because she didn't like him. She's got a bloodlust about her. Unhinged Juliet is back. She's remembering stuff from her journal. Remember how I said that Aaron and Lena were probably in an arranged kind of thing? Well, it kind of was because their parents wanted them to be together for political gain. Warner, Nazira, and Kenji are on a plane together, and the plane has just been hijacked. They landed, and things are not going very well. My brain feels fried, and reading is not helping, but I'm getting this done. It's currently the 10th of June. I've been doing this for a few days, and I just want to get this video done and upload it tomorrow. Quite a lot has happened. I don't know what's going on. I know I'm not alone in my confusion when I hear what on earth. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think they've realized that Juliet is actually, like, not Juliet. She's like, her mind has been reset again. Warner killed Nazira's dad. Warner is, like, fighting Juliet, but, like, not fighting her, just, like, trying to protect her. But then they disappeared. Surely she's not just gonna, like, just remember him. Are they gonna have to go through all this again, like, trying to fall in love again? She just said to him, "You are unusually beautiful. I'm Juliet Ferrez, Supreme Soldier to our North America Commander." At least Juliet's not back in the commander position again. He just called her love. And then she was like, "Don't touch me because I will kill you." He's like kissing her? They're just kissing. He's telling her to come back. And then she just remembered. The power of love prevails. The whole building that they're in is burning down. You are kidding me. I don't really know how to feel. Her mind kept getting wiped, but then this time is different because I don't know if she had Warner. Oh, I guess it kind of makes sense, like the power of love and all that. I didn't really mention this before because I was just like, because Anderson told her to cut off her finger and then like said good girl to her, and I was just like, that is so uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about that. Now, Kenji did shoot Anderson 6 times. Does that mean that he's actually dead? Probably not. I don't know if he is actually going to be dead because Anderson has ways. Quite a lot happened. My mind is trying to wrap my head around it, so let's get this straight, right? Juliet had lost all her memories. She was under full control of Anderson. She gets alone with Warner. Warner kisses her. She remembers. I think my cat is outside my door. No, she's not. The entire place blows up. Everyone is dead. And then they got Emmeline out of the tank. And she died, obviously. The air's going to be so much better. Okay, so I think that's that. Oh, I hate when people do that with their eyes. I'm sorry if I just gross anyone out. So now it's time for Believe Me. My head hurts. Like, my head genuinely is in pain. But we gotta do this.
You know it's this. Take a perk and talk it is.
They're getting married. I don't like how he keeps calling her Ella. Her name is Juliet. She's keeping her name as Juliet. Warner's the only one who's gonna call her Ella. We see Adam, and Juliet's now crying over a dog, which I like how there's just this common theme of a dog in all of this. You know, Juliet was talking about how she loved Adam because he cared about her and all that stuff, and then Warner was like, you should get a dog, it's got the same qualities. And then when Warner was being nice to the dog, and then now with another dog. I'm taking a quick break to play this game called Clash of Clans. It's this thing called Clan War League, where basically you have to like attack a base every single day for a week. This is my base currently. Look at this like nice background. All right, let me show you all the backgrounds that I have. I've got look at all the nice backgrounds that I have. Which one do you reckon gives like Shatter me vibes? Because I'm going to change it, you know. In order to like honor this. Oh, that's like really pretty. That's got all like, so is that one. This one reminds me of Ice Age Collision Course. Actually, no. I'm going with this one. Look, my team has won every war and we're gonna win this one as well. This is my army. I got 3 stars. I'll let this one slide just this once because it's the end. I really do like this cover though. It's all the sparkles and everything. They were supposed to get married. It got postponed because of all the drama in the world. She needs to go out into the world, but Warner's like, absolutely not. Everyone just like needs them. They really just can't get any peace. I really like this quote though. The moon is a loyal companion. It never leaves. It's always there, watching, steadfast, knowing us in our light and dark moments, changing forever just as we do. I've seen a lot of people say like, ending, I mean, it's kind of a cliffhanger, kind of not. Is there going to be another one? There's no plans. But then again, Miss Murphy, she wrote 3 books. Then she wrote another 3 books and 5 novellas. So I don't know, there may be another one. Imagine if there is, and I've got to do this challenge all over again. I don't really know what to say. Look, my mind hurts. So I think I'm just going to chill out for the rest of tonight, edit. I want to watch it too with my family because my sister is the only one who has not seen that movie. And I'm just like, how have you not seen it? And then tomorrow I will do a little update. Right now, how I'm feeling. It was fun having a series to read. I like series. There are not many series that I like actually. Was this a revolutionary, groundbreaking thing? Not for me. For other people, it may have been. Again, like I said, I'm not in the target demographic. Like, I'm 18. I looked it up. The target demographic is apparently 14 to 17-year-olds. I've missed it by a few months. I mean, it's all good. I'm tired. I need a nap. I'll talk later. I've spent around like 20 hours editing this so far, but it's been really nice to have something to focus on. I also think it's really fun to have a series because subconsciously you become really connected to the characters because you're just constantly seeing them and watching them grow and evolve and change. I think that this series has such beautiful covers. So colourful, so pretty. Maybe things were confusing in the books. Maybe it wasn't astounding literature. But that doesn't mean that this series is not special to people. I think people need to remember that this is a young adult book, 14 to 17. If you are not really in that category, I find it weird that you are excessively hating on a series that is honestly like meant for children. I have been in a reading slump lately. I haven't really read that much. This was honestly a really good series to like get me back into reading because I read 11 things and in a pretty short span of time, but it didn't feel like hard work, you know? So I'm very grateful for that because now there are just so many books that are on my shelves that I'm like, okay, I'm ready to read that and I'm ready to read that because I just needed something to sort of get me back into reading. If this video does well, I'm talking like over 100 views and I have the funds, I will purchase the entire series to pay it homage, but only once I have the funds to do so. Thank you for joining me on this journey. It's been very fun. I'm actually thinking of doing more series videos like this because it was fun. I enjoyed doing this, so definitely going to do it again. Thank you for watching.